Shalom, family. Good to see everybody here. Wow, I wish it was under better circumstances, but we're going to talk about what what Karen Bass is doing. You know, the Democrats, they have demonstrated a multitude of times that they do not like us, and they want to seize the opportunity to make sure we see all the money going to everybody except for us. And yes, they can even get naughty head bed wenches to do it like Karen Bass. And no problem, and there are just so many things wrong with the Democratic Party. It's not even funny. I wouldn't even know where to begin. But one thing they can't deny, they love giving money to anybody except for us, and they will go public with how they give money to anybody but us. So we're going to see it once again. This occurred on Friday. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass did a press conference letting everybody know, because of the ICE raids and what the illegals are going through, they need cash money. They need cash payments. So she signed an executive order to give them money, y'all, because they're not working. They're not able to work. Many of them are scared to leave their homes. Okay. So the National Guard and the military's there. Oh, so they've been inconvenienced for several weeks. So that constitutes reparations. But the descendants of slaves don't deserve nothing. Y'all are really setting yourself up for a losing battle. And each time you do this, you see, things aren't going to get better in California because you gave these cash payments to illegals, people that don't even belong here. You're giving them money. Nothing is going to go right for you in California. You think it's bad now, it's going to get tenfold on your behinds because of all the unjust things that you do, all the unjust things that your politicians do. We'll never forget what Gavin Newsom did to sabotage the whole reparations um, study that was going on. He didn't want anything coming to his desk regarding reparations, and those raccoon politicians were more than happy to help him out. So you got a lot of boy, mm, you got a lot of payback coming to you, California. You really, truly do. So, y'all, I'm going to share my screen so you can see this press conference. And look, I got some people responding to it on TikTok. And listen, anytime the first guy you're going to see is a raccoon, you'll know him when you see him. Anyway, you got to be really bad to upset a raccoon. Even the raccoons see what you're doing is wrong. Now, that's pretty bad. that's really bad. All right, let me share my screen so we can get started. All right, give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
All right, Kalina, thank you so much. As a federal judge is expected to rule on a lawsuit aimed at ICE raids taking place across SoCal, LA's mayor announcing her own directive.
It would harden the stance she's already taken against federal immigration activity. KCAL News reporter Rick Montanez is live in downtown LA, where Mayor Bass is expected to sign the order, and she's supposed to speak soon. We're not quite there yet, though.
We're here in the historic Pico House Hotel, built in 1870. This is the first three-story building in Los Angeles, built by Mexican Governor Pio Pico. And we're also in front of the historic plaza, the city's first open space from 1815, our beloved Placita. While we are proud of our city's heritage, this is also a space of difficult history that unfortunately shares a stark parallel to what we're seeing today. In 1931, our plaza here was the site of the forced repatriation of US citizens of Mexican heritage, where raids occurred on unsuspecting visitors to Olvera Street. It's a sad history, but a powerful reminder of what we're facing today. The fear and trauma of so many back then has once again been awakened across our city. But there's also another history, one rooted in hope, unity, and solidarity. Here was where in the 1980s, Father Luis Olivares of the iconic Placita Church, just across the street, initiated the sanctuary movement, declaring the Placita as a sanctuary and safe space for all immigrants and refugees. And myself, as a child of immigrants, I recall those days as an LA kid. I will never forget the news coverage of our own Mayor Tom Bradley standing side by side in solidarity with the sanctuary movement. And so today, I want to thank our Mayor Karen Bass for being here at El Pueblo, continuing that tradition of leadership and resilience. Here at the very heart of Los Angeles, we're here to support you in all efforts to protect our immigrant communities. Thank you, Mayor Bass.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for recalling that tradition. You were a young child, I wasn't, but I remember Father Olivares very well and remember that movement, and that movement continues today and is represented by the people who are standing here with me. So the organizations that are represented, and some you will hear speak today, CHIRLA, the Salvadorian American Leadership and Educational Fund, the Asian Pacific Islander Equity Alliance, Community Coalition, Inclusive Action, and SEIU USWW, continuing the tradition of solidarity in our city. I am here today to sign an executive directive, and I just want to point out the irony for a minute, that there is a need for me to have an executive directive to help our city understand how to protect itself from our federal government. Just let that sink in for a minute. What we have seen here over the last now going on 6 weeks of raids that pop up and we never know exactly when and where they're going to happen. We've seen them in the general region. I'm sure many people saw Camarillo yesterday and what broke out there. We saw MacArthur Park earlier this week, which I think now, after all assessments, it is viewed as just a display of force, just to put the city in its place, to say we are the federal government, we can roll out troops whenever we choose. So the executive directive that I will be signing in a few minutes is to help the city family, to help the city workforce, to help the city departments and all of the general managers essentially develop preparedness plans that have specific protocols and that help city workers know how to address immigration officials should they approach a city department. How we abide by the law, but we understand what our rights are as city employees, how we can provide protection for immigrants who might be attending a city event or at a city property, but we stay within the law. That we make sure that people that work with city contractors ensure that they are safe on city property. So you might have heard that a few days ago, there were city contractors who were working and ICE rolled up on them and asked for ID and was inappropriate. And so even people that contract with the city, we want them to understand what their rights are. We want each department to have an immigration affairs liaison, and we want each department that if they encounter any federal officials, that they contact the city, especially the mayor's office, right away, so that we can, number one, make account of this, but also make sure that all the city departments and city workers are informed on how to deal with this. We also want to disseminate information on city services and assistance programs for families that are impacted by federal enforcement actions. And we are submitting a FOIA, a Freedom of Information Act request regarding the dates and locations of all enforcement activities in Los Angeles. I think you've heard me repeat every time I speak before you that when people are taken from our city, we do not necessarily know where they are going. They are not provided regular access to families or to legal counsel, and that the family members that are left behind don't know whether their family members are in the city, in the state, or even in the country. And we also know that when these raids have been happening, it's not just people who are undocumented, but people who are in the country legally, people who are showing up for their annual immigration visit, or even sometimes US citizens who have been detained. So once again, I just want to repeat the irony that I am going to sign an executive directive to help the city family understand how to protect the workforce and Angelenos from our federal government. With that, I would like to introduce Angelica Salas from CHIRLA, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of Los Angeles.
Thank you so much, Mayor Bass, and thank you so much for your leadership and for standing with us this entire time. So really want to say thank you. At a time when immigrant families across the city are living in growing fear and uncertainty, Mayor Bass takes action today to reaffirm Los Angeles.
All right, we're going to keep listening to this press conference that we've brought to you right now, where Mayor Karen Bass announced her executive directive to support immigrant communities. And is additionally requesting records from the federal government on what she calls unlawful raids from federal agencies. The directive actually calls for city departments to be better prepared for federal immigration activity on city property by bolstering protocols and training for these types of incidents. This press conference is going to go on.
Yeah.
There's many more speakers coming up. We'll continue to watch it in the news. We'll bring you anything if there's a development that happens. And of course, when Mayor Bass goes to sign that executive order, we'll bring that to you as well.
Okay. So when did this happen? It happened on the 11th, this past Friday. So she signed an executive order to give, y'all, listen, $50,000 a piece to illegals that have been inconvenienced by ICE. $50,000. Listen to me now. $50,000 per illegal immigrant because they have been inconvenienced by ICE. That's what she's going to be giving to people that don't even belong in this country. People that did absolutely nothing to earn the money. People that should not be getting 1 red cent. They need to be sent back home. Listen, y'all, this woman will stand up for anybody except for us. And the Democratic Party has showed us over and over and over, they will go before the camera to defend anybody but us. And yeah, they're a bunch of sellouts. That's what they are. And this woman has never, in her whole political career, she has never lifted a finger for the Black community there in Los Angeles. What about giving money to those families that lost their homes, that were firebombed by Mexicans? Did you give them $50,000? Wow. Wow. All right, y'all. I'm going to show you some reaction. Now, the first guy, many of you are going to recognize, he's been a big raccoon on YouTube for years. Anthony B. Logan. You know, yeah, even the raccoon is upset. So you know it's bad when the raccoons are upset. Man, Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. You notice no one, I went by kind of fast. You notice no one is complaining about their tax dollars. No, that's only exclusively for us. Okay. Nobody's ever upset about tax money unless it's something in regards to us. Then they're complaining all over the place. Yeah. Well, trust me, many of us are calling that out, you know. So let me get to the TikTok videos so you can hear the reaction from people over there. Okay, give me a 1 if you can see my screen. And you notice they never complain about where the money's going to come from. They always love asking us, well, where's the money going to come from? Really? Really? And I bet you every single, because it's mainly white people, every single white person that always asks, what are we going to do with the reparations money? I bet you won't ask not one illegal that's getting $50,000 what they going to do with the money. I bet not one of you are going to ask those same questions of them that you do to us whenever the subject of reparations come up, which means your questions are rooted in racism. All right, so let's get started. The Crawford Experience, thank you so much for the super chat. This Karen Bass is nothing but a Democrat shield. Yeah, I mean, all of them are. All of them are. None of them are really there for us at all. Okay, y'all.
And we're fortunate that there's a lot of philanthropic partners who have contributed, and many more, I hope, that will join in and contribute. We're organizing food deliveries. I mean, there's all sorts of things that we are having to do now to protect people from the federal government.
Mayor, thank you for the Orange Division. If you can talk to us about, you say you're bringing back, as part of the program, bringing back the Angelino card. And my question is, how soon and how much? If I'm not mistaken, you said it's going to be cash distribution?
Yes, it's a couple $100. I don't know the exact amount, and this should be available in about a week.
In about a week. Any
Philanthropic organization.
Is there any requirements for people to receive that?
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, it's similar to what we went through with the fires, in our impacted worker center. We had a way of knowing whether somebody was actually impacted by the fire. So it's not like they're just handed out on the streets. They're given to organizations that are in contact, like many of the organizations here, that are in contact with the population. They know their constituents.
with the two follow-up questions for my question and his question as well. With those cards, it's 100% philanthropic, or is any of that coming out of the general fund, taxes?
I wish we had general fund money for that. No, 100%.
A couple hundred, a couple thousand, who knows what the exact dollar amount is going to be when it's all said and done. But I'm sure at a certain point, the so-called philanthropic funds are not going to be there. Then it's going to be a matter of Los Angeles residents, California residents, maybe even the federales, if they would finagle that some kind of way to foot the bill for the migrants, as they've already done. Speaking about the earlier video with Medi-Cal and 1 million illegal aliens being on that program, costing you, the taxpayer in California, billions of dollars a year. Now, reparations. Whenever anybody brings this topic up as far as forced slavery, like I said from the beginning, I just pretty much tune out because it'll never happen. When did slavery end? 1865. We're now in 2025. It's been a very long time. It's been a very long time. The issue with the migrant raids is happening right now. Right now, there's still raids going on, meaning it's not over with. We're not looking at it in the historical context. Oh, we got to do something to make them whole. We got to pay them back. Nah, it's happening now. And there's money being allocated for it now. Same thing. Remember the whole Stop Asian Hate situation? There was an issue. There was a proposal to give some money, some resources, some services, and it was done. All these other groups come here and get American taxpayer money to pay for whatever they want. Reparations for slavery? We're going to look into it. We're going to do a study. A study? What are we studying? What do we not know about slavery at this point? We know everything. Like I said, this issue in California is happening right now. Ain't no study involved. Ain't no, oh, we're going to look into it. We're going to figure it out. Nah, it's a problem. We identified it, and we're going to pay money right now. Now, don't get it confused. I'm not complaining because I know it ain't going to happen as far as reparations. I'm not looking forward to it. I have never been the kind of guy that says, okay, government, please give me something. I know where I'm at. I know I'm in the best country on planet Earth, the USA. I've always been self-motivated. I've been able to go out there, get money, make things happen, and elevate myself. And I'm straight from the hood. No silver spoon in my mouth or nothing. I have a great family, people that love me, but I'm from the hood. Don't get it confused. I've never in my life thought, oh, I'm from the hood. I'm so poor. I need a white man to take care of me. I need the government to take care of me. Never have I thought that. Democrats kind of dangle that like a carrot in front of us. Oh, reparations. Hey, vote for me. Well, we're going to look into it. I'm going to see what we can do. And every year or every 4 years, nothing ever happens. But again, when they really want to do something, they'll do it. Ain't going to be no promise. Oh, I'll get it to you on the back end. Either they're going to do it or they're not going to do it. Here is yet another example of what I've been saying for the past 20 years. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass offering reparations to migrants who have been affected by the ICE raids? Are you surprised? Are you not surprised? Do you think it would be fully philanthropic, meaning not taxpayer funded, or at a certain point, will you, the taxpayer in California, foot the bill for this? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I am not surprised at all. Clearly, the priority in the place like California and a lot of these blue cities is not you, the American citizen. It is the migrant, the illegal alien, not even new people that came here legally. It's the illegal alien. They get all kind of benefits, all kind of passes for following the law. They do whatever they want to do while we can't. It's unfair. It's not right. And again, like I said in many other videos, the migrant issue was my chief issue of the entire election, and it's not close. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.
What y'all got to say? Because this is ridiculous, man. Los Angeles, for black folks, it is over with. It's done with. Look at the people look at the people that they get to represent us. They get the worst people they can find to represent us.
Right, coons.
This coon ass nigga. Karen Bass, Maxine Waters. These are the people they get to represent SBA and Cali.
Getting paid.
Coons,
by
gays, and sellouts.
Right, sellouts.
And hit the like button. It ain't nothing.
And it's enough for everybody to be comfortable. They're
So
over.
if you got something
They
that you want to add to
pushing
the
black people
conversation,
out,
feel
being
free to hit
racist
that
at
link.
work.
And
It's
it is what it
ridiculous,
is. You got
and
it,
they
man.
know it.
I'm just fed with
That's
it,
why I
man.
work for myself, stay
I'm
at home
fed
and
up
just do
with
here
that, man.
because
Seriously.
it's too difficult.
Seriously, bro.
Fucking racist ass fucking people.
Yet, but the receipts are coming in. It's going to be paid. There are just other silliness.
Cool. Don't do nothing for your own people. It's enough for everybody to be comfortable. People are being racist.
All of this, even scarier than all those men with guns and horses.
The council
is when you drive
literally said that she was calling people monkeys. And all they did was hire black women to hide their racism.
Economic activity. So we
oh my God.
You got 18th Street, MS-13,
right?
Playboys, Crazy Riders, Rockwood,
right?
And a list of other Mexican gangs over there. But the main two gangs are the 18th Street Barrio and the MS-13, Marisada Trucha. They control that part. At one time, 18th Street and MS-13 had to go to war for the park.
Right.
But then what happened was they said, okay, you guys keep that side, we got this side. That area is a war zone. That area is a rest haven for illegal immigrants and Mexican.
LA's mayor is giving out cash to fight Trump's immigration raids. So Mayor Karen Bass just signed that executive order. Of course, this comes as that city was dealing with raids across town. She basically is saying that she wants to make sure that city workers are protected and they know what to do. So here are some of the new details of that executive order. Basically, she wants city workers to be trained on how to handle ICE. When federal agents are there, they need to reveal who they arrested and why. And immigrants will get a couple $100 in these card forms. Money will all come from philanthropic partners. Cash cards will also be distributed by immigrant right groups in about a week. Now, here are some of the tweets from the LA mayor. The White House responded saying that they believe that this is all a political stunt to help illegal immigrants. So there has been some lawsuits back and forth between LA and the federal government. So we'll see where this goes. So what do you guys think about the LA mayor's executive order? Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment below.
Hey, yo, the kinds of things that keep me up all night. Mayor Karen Bass, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, is giving out cash payments, cash cards, using activists to send or personally give cash cards to 900,000 immigrants in California to help them while they're dealing with the ICE raids sent by Trump. Comment section, please. I'm just tired of this shit.
We also are going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID that will actually provide cash assistance to people. Because, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash.
But prior to the fire, the city was in serious financial trouble, and we've now learned a nearly $1 billion budget deficit could result in as many as 1,600 city employees losing their jobs.
I want to be straight with you. My proposed budget, unfortunately, includes layoffs, which is a decision of absolute last resort.
In addition to the layoffs, Bass has proposed eliminating 1,074 vacant positions, combining city departments, delaying capital projects, and lowering funding in the mayor's office.
Peace to the tribe. So Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass issues cash payments to illegals. Mayor Karen Bass signed an executive order Friday to bolster protocols and support immigrant neighborhoods, including offering cash assistance in response to raids by the Trump administration targeting those living in the U.S. illegally. So Karen Bass is about to provide cash payments towards immigrants affected by these ICE raids in Los Angeles. My thing is, Karen Bass, you did not fight this hard for Black Americans to receive reparations in the California Reparations task force. Like, this shit is wild to me. The Democrats, they fight and advocate so hard for immigrants, criminals, more than their own citizens, more than Black Americans, bro. Like, this shit is crazy.
When I heard this news about the cash payments, I thought this cannot possibly be true. But then on reflection, I thought, of course it's true, because California already provides the most generous benefits for illegal immigrants of any state by far. Newsom has driven Medicaid insolvent by giving out free comprehensive benefits for everyone. And now Bass is giving out these free cash cards. And apparently one of the ways you can get one is if you're too afraid to go into work. Well, number one, this fear, to the extent that it exists, is largely driven by Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, who have purposely incited fear and driven these rioters into a state of frenzy. But number two, if we say that if you're too afraid to go to work, you get free cash payments, I think that all of a sudden we're going to find there are a lot more people who are suddenly too afraid to go into work. But the real kicker in all this is that Karen Bass has chosen, of all groups, Churla to distribute the cards. Now, remember, this is the group that got $34 million in funding and then played a central role in organizing the riot.
Karen Bass on paying illegal immigrants.
We also are going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID, that will actually provide cash assistance to people. Because, you know, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash.
So if you came here illegally and then you committed another crime, just hang tight. We're going to give you a little cash to hold you over so you don't have to come out of your house.
This is looking insurrectionist. We're going to pay you to break the law. We are not only going to tell you not to follow the federal law, federal immigration law. Now we're going to pay you to stay at your home and hide from the authorities that are enforcing laws that are nationwide. If they were against these laws, they should go through the legislative process and try to pass laws that say we're against federal immigration and we want open borders, but they're not doing that. They're paying people to break the law.
I want to put this video up, and here's some of it right here, Ron. But this video you see where you've got this marijuana farm. You see them throwing rocks at the officers. They were firing guns, the protesters, at these ICE agents. I just want your take as somebody who was kind of in this industry. What's your take on what you're seeing here?
Well, it's ridiculous. It's dangerous. Those officers that are having rocks thrown right at their head through the side window of those vans, that's attempted murder. That's assault. And they showed great restraint in not firing to preserve their lives or to preserve grievous bodily injury from happening to them. And so this is what the left brings you. The rhetoric that calls these people Nazis, the rhetoric that says people are being kidnapped, the rhetoric that says being in the country illegal is not a crime is all wrong. Yeah. And it's causing these activists to be emboldened in cases like this.
We will be holding our breath on that decision and hoping that she does follow through and that the city has some relief. And I think it would be relief for everyone for there to be a temporary restraining order that we would hope, of course, would then become permanent. And that would mean the raids would stop. In terms of the first part of the question that you asked, what are the resources? Well, in our community development programs, there's resources there in our family resource centers, but we also are going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID that will actually provide cash assistance to people. Because, you know, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work. And they are in need of cash. You know, I have met with family members who they needed 2 incomes in order to make the rent. Well, 1 income was lost in a raid when someone was detained. And this woman with her children now is concerned that she might face being evicted and being homeless. And so it's that type of emergency assistance. And we're fortunate that there's a lot of philanthropic partners who have contributed, and many more I hope that will join in and contribute. We're organizing food deliveries. I mean, there's all sorts of things that we are having to do now to protect people from the federal government.
So basically what she's trying to tell you guys is that an initiative that was created during the pandemic where regular everyday citizens were getting cash assistance from the government, from the city government and from the state government, including what was going on over in Gavin Newsom's office and what was going on locally in Los Angeles. They are reinstituting that in order to make sure that illegal migrants are taken care of. So as long as you're able to be an LA resident that is running in the Victim Olympics, that came over here undocumented, and if you are afraid, I'm gonna repeat this because I want to make sure, and I played it for you guys to watch, and you can go rewatch it again. If you or anybody you know over in Los Angeles is an illegal undocumented migrant that did not self-deport at the time that Trump asked you to self-deport, if you came over here illegally, if you've committed a crime, if you've done anything, then you can reach out to Karen Bass and they will make sure that they get you assistance in the form of free dollars, millions, if not billions of dollars, considering that they are running in a $1 billion government deficit and they have been inadequate in being able to manage the city correctly. You are eligible. That is basically what they are saying. They are reinstituting the Angelinos card or whatever it is that they want to label it as in order to help illegal migrants that are still over here undocumented, had God knows how long in order to become a legal citizen. A lot of them don't even speak English. And they are now, as a city, remember this, and this is the biggest thing that you guys need to understand. Los Angeles is not in a surplus. Los Angeles, along with Chicago and Denver, and ironically enough, many of their budgets are the exact same. So if you think about Los Angeles and what their budget deficit is, they have multi-billions of dollars that come in the form of taxpayer dollars, as well as government assistance.
All right, y'all. So you see, she signed the executive order to give illegals $50,000 apiece because for the last 6 weeks, they had to deal with ICE. And many of them are so afraid they won't even go to work anymore. So for that, and like they said, in breaking the law, so they're getting awarded $50,000 for breaking the law. Boy, you can't get a better deal than that. $50,000 a piece for breaking the law. I mean, wow. Wow. But if you walk up to her right now and said reparations, she'll probably turn around and run because she don't want to deal with that conversation. Right along with all of those Democrats sitting up on Capitol Hill. As soon as you say, reparations, oh, there's no money. Oh, where we going to get the money from? What y'all going to do? How y'all going to spend the money? I promise you, not one person, like I said, is going to ask these illegal how they're going to spend the money. Personally, just give the reparations. I don't care what people do with their money. To hell with that. They're grown. They can do whatever they want with their money. If they want to go out there and buy a product collection, so what? That's their money. They sure ain't getting none of mine when they blow their money. So I don't care what they do with their money. But with these folks, not one person's going to ask them, what are y'all going to do with that $50,000? I promise you, not one person is going to ask that question. That's only reserved for us. But this is a trip, California. Y'all, I'm just going to sit and wait if other states are going to try to step up and do something. Don't be shocked if it's not just California. That's all I'm saying to you. There could be more states cropping up trying to do the same thing. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I just wanted y'all to see this. This all happened on Friday, July 11th. So this is very recent. So y'all, let me say my thank yous. David Johnson, the asshole, okay? thank you for the super chat. Traitors are 100 times worse than enemies. Yes, they are. Man Scott, thank you for the super chat. You notice no one is complaining about their tax dollars. No, and they won't. You won't hear one person screaming about, I don't want my tax money going toward you. They won't say it. They won't say it. The Crawford Experience, thank you for the super chat. This Karen Bass is nothing but a Democrat shield. Yes, she is. And Lee Edward, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for your support for my channel. All right, y'all, I'm going to let you all go. Have a wonderful day. I do have 2 premieres coming up, so I hope to see you all there. Shalom, family.